Have you ever wondered why some people seem distant or why certain connections feel shallow? You're not alone and you're in the right place. Today we'll dive into the hidden reasons why people might secretly dislike you and how you can use this knowledge to transform your relationships. We'll explore 9 surprising habits that could be holding you back, and by the end, you'll have a fresh perspective on how to build meaningful, authentic connections. We'll also bring Stoic philosophy into the mix, offering timeless wisdom on what's in your control, and how small shifts in mindset can truly change the way you interact with others. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more powerful insights like these. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. Self-importance, the invisible barrier. Sometimes, it's not arrogance that creates distance. It's the subtle weight of ego. You may not even realize it, but small, almost invisible behaviors like needing constant validation, subtly correcting others, or believing your time is more valuable than anyone else's can push people away. It's like an invisible force that builds a wall between you and them, making them feel unimportant or dismissed. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, remind us that true value doesn't come from external praise or recognition, but from living a virtuous life. Ego clouds our perception, making us see the world as revolving around us. But in reality, this mentality only creates distance. Ego is like a storm stirring the surface of the mind, making us miss out on true connection. To break free, practice shifting your focus in conversations. Instead of steering everything back to yourself, try to actively listen, seek to understand, and let go of the urge to always be right. Humility isn't about diminishing your worth. It's about recognizing that everyone, regardless of status, has intrinsic value. When we let go of our egos, we create room for respect and genuine connection. Over time, this humble presence becomes magnetic, drawing people toward us naturally. Perfectionism, the silent relationship killer. We all admire high standards, but when those standards become perfectionism, they can suffocate both us and those around us. The constant desire for everything to be perfect can make others feel like they're constantly being judged, creating an invisible pressure that leads to frustration and distance. Perfectionism often arises from good intentions, to excel or avoid mistakes, but it becomes a prison of unattainable ideals. Stoicism teaches us that life, much like a garden, needs space and patience to grow. Relationships flourish through understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness. When we try to control every little detail, we prevent both ourselves and others from appreciating the present moment. Instead of striving for an impossible ideal, try practicing curiosity. Allow things, and people, to be imperfect. Embrace the beauty in life's natural flow. This shift can relieve the pressure and create an environment where people feel free to be themselves, deepening trust and strengthening bonds. Emotional reactivity. The storm inside. It's natural to feel anger or frustration, but if we allow those emotions to rule us, we risk creating an unpredictable and tense atmosphere. Constant emotional reactivity can make others feel like they're walking on eggshells, unsure of when a minor comment might set us off. This instability can push people away as they seek calm and understanding elsewhere. The Stoics, such as Epictetus, emphasize the importance of emotional resilience. They teach that while we cannot control the events or words of others, we always have the power to control how we respond. Think of emotions as waves on an ocean. If we react impulsively to every wave, we lose sight of the deeper, calmer waters beneath. By practicing calmness and awareness, we can observe these emotions without letting them dictate our actions. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means choosing how to respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting on impulse. When we learn to manage our emotional responses, we create a stable environment where others feel safe and understood. By letting go of ego, perfectionism, and emotional reactivity, we can create stronger, more genuine connections. These small shifts in mindset can transform how others feel around us, leading to more meaningful, respectful relationships. Mastering emotional resilience, the art of responding with purpose. In the face of life's countless triggers, take a pause, a deep breath. Allow yourself space, just a moment, between the spark of emotion and your reaction. Ask yourself, will this matter in a day, a week, a month? This simple pause is a gift, offering us the freedom to choose a response aligned with our core values, rather than being swept away by impulsive reactions. It's a practice of emotional mastery, not about suppressing feelings, but shaping them into thoughtful actions. The Stoics called it mastery over passion, shaping emotions, not being ruled by them. When we cultivate emotional resilience, we create an atmosphere of calm that those around us can sense. They feel safe in our presence, knowing they can speak freely without fear of sudden outbursts or judgment. Over time, this steadiness transforms us into someone others turn to for support, not someone they avoid to escape drama. Emotional resilience strengthens not only our relationships, but our inner peace, allowing us to move through life without being tossed around by every wave of emotion that comes our way. The silent poison of envy. A thief of joy. Envy is like a quiet poison, slipping under the guise of politeness, masked in casual comments. But its effects are far-reaching and long-lasting. When envy takes root, it shifts our focus from our own growth to comparing ourselves to others. Instead of celebrating others' achievements, we feel that their success diminishes our own worth. Though envy often stays unspoken, its presence is palpable in subtle ways. A backhanded compliment, a cold shoulder, or a lack of genuine enthusiasm for someone else's triumphs. Over time, this invisible energy can create an uncomfortable distance between us and others. The Stoics remind us that true peace of mind doesn't come from comparing ourselves to others. As Marcus Aurelius often noted, contentment arises from being at peace with what we have, focusing on our own journey rather than measuring ourselves against the lives of others. Envy to the Stoics is a form of self-sabotage. It distracts us from our path, keeping us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction. When we focus on what others have, we fail to appreciate the richness of our own lives. Think of envy as a shadow that distorts our vision. It clouds our judgment, making every interaction feel like a contest, every success of others a reminder of our own inadequacies. But when we embrace Stoic wisdom, we see that comparisons are futile. True fulfillment lies in nurturing our own strengths, embracing our unique journey, and letting go of the need to measure up. If you feel the sting of envy, use it as a moment of self-reflection. Ask yourself, what does this feeling reveal about my desires or insecurities? Often, envy signals a longing for something we've yet to pursue, a desire to act on our own ambitions. Rather than letting envy consume us, we can turn it into fuel for positive action, setting new goals, honing our skills, and celebrating the unique strengths that make us who we are. By cultivating gratitude and learning to rejoice in others' successes, we free ourselves from envy's grip, and in turn, attract genuine connections built on mutual respect. The web of manipulation. The danger of hidden agendas. Manipulation is often subtle, a quiet attempt to control others for our own benefit. No matter how cleverly we disguise it, people can usually sense when something feels off, when there's an underlying agenda behind our words or actions. Manipulative behavior erodes trust, creating relationships that feel more like transactions than true connections. The more we pull the strings from behind the scenes, the more others feel trapped in a web of hidden motives, and eventually, they begin to resent it. In Stoic philosophy, honesty and integrity are foundational virtues. Manipulation not only disrupts the harmony of relationships, but it also leads us away from our true selves, pushing us to act from a place of self-interest instead of virtue. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of the importance of living in alignment with one's values, treating others with respect and transparency. When we manipulate others, we lose touch with our own character. We may gain short-term advantages, but at the cost of long-term trust and respect. Manipulation, no matter how carefully crafted, is always fragile. It may eventually collapse, leaving us with the consequences of betraying our own integrity. The Stoic approach to relationships emphasizes sincerity and openness. If you find yourself tempted to influence others for your own benefit, take a step back. Ask yourself whether your actions come from a place of respect or control. Trust is a rare currency, and once lost, it is hard to rebuild. By fostering genuine, transparent relationships, we attract others who trust us not because of hidden motives, but because of our sincerity. The weight of accountability, owning our actions. Few things breed resentment faster than the refusal to take responsibility for our mistakes. When we avoid accountability, shift the blame, or pretend we haven't fallen short, we create a sense of injustice in others. Accountability is the cornerstone of trust. Without it, relationships become one-sided, with one person shouldering all the burdens, while the other avoids responsibility. In Stoicism, accountability is seen as essential to self-mastery. Virtue, the Stoics believed, isn't just about doing what's right when it's convenient. It's about owning our mistakes, learning from them, and growing stronger. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that everyone stumbles. What matters is not avoiding mistakes, but recognizing them, learning from them, and using them as opportunities for growth. When things go wrong, how do you respond? Do you look for excuses, or do you pause and take responsibility? The next time you're tempted to dodge accountability, take a moment to breathe and embrace the opportunity to strengthen both your character and your relationships. Owning up to our failures doesn't weaken us. It builds trust, reliability, and respect. Over time, others will come to see us as someone they can count on, even when things aren't perfect. Authenticity. The power of being real. Authenticity is rare and precious. It's something people can sense almost instinctively. When we wear a mask, pretending to be someone we're not, it may seem like we're protecting ourselves, but in reality, we're preventing others from truly knowing us. Inauthenticity, even if unintentional, creates distance. Relationships feel shallow, disconnected, and forced, as if we're playing a part instead of simply being ourselves. The Stoics valued authenticity above all. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of the importance of living according to one's true nature, embracing honesty and simplicity in all things. When we're authentic, we're at peace with who we are. We're no longer juggling multiple versions of ourselves or trying to meet others' expectations. Authenticity isn't about perfection. It's about embracing our flaws and differences and letting go of the need for approval. When we live authentically, we invite others to do the same. People are drawn to our honesty, and in turn, they feel safe to be themselves. True connections are born when we allow ourselves to show up as we truly are, without pretense, without masks. Pessimism, the heavy cloud that darkens connections. While a pessimistic outlook may seem harmless, even prudent at times, its long-term effects can be subtly toxic. Constant negativity casts a lingering shadow over our interactions, like a storm cloud that follows us wherever we go. When others are repeatedly exposed to this storm, it can drain their energy, leaving them weary and hesitant to seek our company. Instead of offering comfort, we unintentionally repel, isolating ourselves in a cycle of doubt and despair. Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson. Our mindset is ours to shape. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself to look for beauty in the smallest moments and to find value in everyday life. According to Stoic wisdom, our thoughts have the power to create our reality. By training ourselves to find light even in the darkest places, we build resilience against negativity. It's not about forcing optimism or pretending things are always perfect. It's about shifting our focus to what uplifts us, even in the midst of challenges. So next time you feel yourself slipping into negativity, pause and look for one glimmer of positivity, however small. A simple act of gratitude can ground us in the present and help us reconnect with life's inherent beauty. When we embrace this mindset, we naturally become someone others are drawn to. a source of light rather than a shadow. Crossing boundaries. The silent erosion of respect. At times, we may offer support with the best of intentions, but when we overstep boundaries, we can inadvertently cause discomfort. Trying to fix others or intrude on their personal space, even with good motives, often makes people feel undermined, as though they're incapable of managing their own lives. In Stoic philosophy, respect for others' autonomy is paramount. Every person walks their own path, and interfering too much can prevent them from learning their lessons. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic, urged his students to focus only on what they can control, their own actions and choices, not those of others. The Stoics recognize that we all have unique journeys and that true respect means giving others the space to find their way. If you find yourself about to intervene uninvited, pause and reflect. Is your help truly needed, or might it be more respectful to offer quiet support from the sidelines? Trusting others to navigate their challenges fosters mutual respect. When we show patience, we strengthen relationships and build genuine trust. People feel valued when they sense we're there to listen and offer support, not to direct or fix their lives. This kind of respectful distance nurtures authentic connections and deepens trust. In the end, we must remember that the journey to becoming our best selves begins with small, consistent steps. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have the power to shape our thoughts and, by extension, our relationships. By practicing emotional resilience, embracing positivity, and respecting boundaries, we can create more harmonious connections with others and build a life of inner peace. Keep this wisdom in mind, and don't forget that change begins within. Thank you for joining us in exploring these important lessons today. May they inspire you to continue growing into the best version of yourself.